Dirks is charged with murder for hire. 5 other Chicago men were also hit with federal charges involving the same murder for hire plot.
Dirk Devontae Banks, aka Lil Durk, born October 19, 1992. On October 24, 2024, rapper Lil Durk was arrested on conspiracy to commit murder for hire charges in the shooting death of rapper Quando Rondo's cousin, known on the streets as Lil Pop. According to CNN, Durk or representatives of the rapper booked 3 flights on the day of his arrest, one to Switzerland and another to Dubai, before booking a private flight to Italy from Florida, but was taken into custody before he could board either. The day before, 4 affiliates of his crew and label OTF were arrested for charges the feds claim they were ordered by Durk to carry out, which was to eliminate Quando Rondo in retaliation for the 2020 death of Durk's friend and protege King Von, who died November 6 that year after approaching Quando for a fight and being shot by Quando's friend Lil Tim, who jumped out of an unsuspecting car and initiated fire. The last 4 years have been filled with ups and downs for Lil Durk, who has seen a rise in his music popularity and rap stardom, edging himself into the conversation of one of the top rappers in the game currently. In 2021, there was an attempted home invasion of his Atlanta home where he and girlfriend India Cox were present and allegedly exchanged fire with the intruders, but both were unharmed. In 2022, Lil Durk would beat a 3-year attempted murder charge where he and King Von were charged together and accused of robbery and shooting at a man, but released on bail days later. Each time it seems Lil Durk has eluded trouble coming his way, but in 2024 he's facing his toughest obstacle as the feds have him and claim to have strong evidence against him, like wiretaps, business credit cards, and potential video of Durk incriminating himself having direct involvement in the murder for hire death of Lil Pop. Wire allegedly warned by his friend and close affiliate that goes by the street name Jam. Not too long ago, Jam was released from prison after doing 12 years, and Durk welcomed him home with open arms, money, and opportunity, only to have an alleged betrayal of this magnitude that could spell the end for one of Chicago's most promising and already biggest rappers of all time. If convicted, Durk could be the first mainstream rapper to receive the death penalty, and by appearances, it looks to be over for Lil Durk and his superstar rap career. That's if he does not succeed in beating these charges, which at this point are substantial but can be fought until proven to be true. It's not over for Lil Durk, but at the very least, this stunts his growth to have any time taken away in the short career span of rappers of the already 32-year-old, a long way from being free anytime soon. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to God's Child on IG for this request. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Lil Durk is a rapper from Chicago, Illinois, Inglewood, Lamron to be exact, or Normal Street spelled backwards. His father went to prison when Durk was 7 months old and served 26 years before being released in 2019. Durk took to the streets, which is normal at a young age on the south side of the city, and received his share of run-ins with the law, including a gun case for a firearm he was caught with that had its serial number defaced. He escaped jail time and focused on music, following Chief Keef's rise out the city to become next up. He was affiliated with French Montana and his Coke Boys label early on, who intended to sign him, but Durk saw himself as bigger than assigned to another rapper artist and wanted to run his own thing at the time, which would turn out to be OTF. 2013 would be a huge year for Lil Durk, who signed a joint venture deal with Def Jam after the success of his songs L's Anthem and This Ain't What You Want, the latter becoming one of the defining songs of his career. Stunt number 1, The Feds Got Him. At this point, although it seems late to the algorithm, it's still much too early to confidently say that it's over for Lil Durk. But one of the main reasons his growth as an artist is being stunted anyway is because the federal government has him and are orchestrating this prosecution. What we do know is that the feds have an extremely high conviction rate, mainly because they take their time building a case on their target before they make an arrest, which signifies they feel strongly about attaining a conviction or plea deal. Either way, in the case of Lil Durk, this significantly hurts his career from moving forward at the trajectory expected. As mentioned, he just turned 32 years old and in rap years is just outside having a strong youth influence where his word is followed by his target audience, the streets. He currently still has said influence, but doing anywhere from 5 years or above in prison puts him in his late 30s, possibly 40s if he's released. By then, the voice, as he calls himself, will be silenced long enough for his fan base to move on from him, either through their own personal growth or finding other artists that have evolved or enter the game each year. Like every rapper released from jail or prison, there will be much hype to see a day many are waiting for to happen, but the proof in the pudding is that rappers that come home from spending significant time behind bars aren't guaranteed success. You look at BG and Bobby Shmurda in particular, two rappers super popular before they went in, that came out to much hype that has died down quickly to the point there's a clear disconnect with their fans. I would say that Durk has better mainstream music than both artists mentioned, which could play a part in him regaining success, but more than likely more than 5 years will change things like his perspective about still making the same street music that got him jammed, and how much credibility will he have with fans knowing he wasn't as smart as they thought all along, so why listen to him? Time heals all, but time also can take things like a rap career away. Being arrested by the feds tells us that Durk will do some time, maybe enough to halt his career for good. Stunt number 2, the wiretaps. What took this case from just another rapper apprehended by law enforcement that has enough money to beat any charge to a situation money won't matter is the appearance of alleged wiretaps worn around Lil Durk that supposedly has the rapper on tape conspiring to commit the murder for hire and discussing payment after Lil Pop's death. If true, I think this is the strongest point against Lil Durk that for obvious reasons will be difficult to explain away. That corroborated by some of Durk's own lyrics and comments alluding to already having slid or got back for King Von through the killing of Lil Pop.
What you get triggered by the slide for Von comments? For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. You be seeing them comments a lot? They kind of chilled out a little bit. I wonder why.
Interestingly, he also rapped about the alleged informant on the song We Back Again, featuring King Von and Prince Dre, where he says, "Jam get out that jam, I gave him 50, ain't gotta ask again," showing his loyalty to a man who is said to have betrayed him and has been for years, equipped with wiretaps of countless conversations. Wiretaps can be fought with a good lawyer, which we are to assume Durk has, but again, this isn't about whether Durk will regain his freedom again. It's about a race against time that rappers don't have to be fighting Fed cases equipped with audio and possible video evidence that could jeopardize that time. The release of the news the feds have these wiretaps has fans believing it might be over for Lil Durk, and if they in fact do exist, they could be right. Personally, I've always felt Durk was making a huge mistake entourage-wise during his rise, because the more hungry mouths to feed, the greater the risk of betrayal in the form of giving up his location, which did happen, or one of them talking too much, or even the unthinkable, wearing a wire of a friend that supported you in prison and when you were released. Either way, those wiretaps may signify the end. Stunt number 3, no way out. Lastly, Lil Durk in this situation is the big fish, the top of the food chain for the feds, so even if he wanted to, there's no one else involved for him to tell on in order to reduce his time. And by what we know about Lil Durk over the years is even if there were, he would never go that route, which could mean the end of his music career anyway. Lil Durk isn't Tekashi 6ix9ine, who could give up an entire criminal organization of gang blood members and is also held to a different standard than 6ix9ine. One, because he's actually from the streets, whereas 6ix9ine was pretending all along, and Durk's entire image is staying solid to the street code, as his father did, taking a life sentence over giving anyone else up for his freedom. So, because Durk is the big fish with no one else to pass the blame and consequence, and because snitching will hurt him much more than time behind bars, there seems to be no way out for Lil Durk other than to win this trial, and hopefully it doesn't cost him too much time anyway. All in all, Lil Durk is in a jam. His music career hangs in the balance of whether or not this case strips him of very important time and ability to continue feeding his empire. Of course, his freedom is more important than a music career, but Durk has to be really careful how he goes about regaining his freedom without jeopardizing his street rap credibility, while also making sure staying solid doesn't cost him too much time and he still loses his career. It's not over for Lil Durk's freedom, but for these reasons, his rap career is being stunted. Salute, much respect, free Lil Durk. It's your boy JC StuntedGrowthMusic, and I'm out.